It's a beautiful evening for a ball game here at Lancer Field. It's the season home finale for the Lancers here at Laville Junior Senior High School. They face an Oregon-Davis Bobcat team looking to rebound. The boys of Laville also looking to rebound after a 7-4 loss to South Bend Clay last night. Alongside Wayne Thomas, Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us on LVH1. And the presentation tonight of Varsity Baseball brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, and TNA Rigging of South Bend and Plymouth. It's time for baseball on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
The following broadcast is the exclusive property of LVH1 and the Union North United School Corporation for the private use of our audience and fans. Any retransmission or duplication of this broadcast without the written consent of LVH1 or the Union North United School Corporation is strictly prohibited. We hope you enjoy this event, and go Lancers!
For Dennis Feitz and Wayne Thomas, I'm Matt Florian. A very pleasant good evening and welcome to LVH1's presentation of the home season finale from Lancer Field. The Lancers face the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis. Bobcats coming into this game are 3-15-1, coached by Travis Minix. Their one tie, which is a rarity in high school baseball in this area of Indiana, came just 2 days ago at Culver Community. Tied at 8 at the end of 8 innings. A lot of high school fields do not have lights. That game was called as a final score of 8-8 tie between the Cavaliers and the Bobcats. Meanwhile, the Lancers look to rebound after a loss last night to the South Bend Clay Colonials at Clay Field. The Lancers led 4-3, I believe, going into the top of the 7th before allowing the Colonials to come back and walk off at home. Both teams looking for a victory, both teams needing some momentum to go into the postseason. As we see Coach Lawler and Coach Minix for Oregon-Davis exchanging pleasantries and scorecards with our home plate umpires this evening. And I'll introduce and invite into the broadcast Mr. Wayne Thomas and Mr. Dennis Feitz. Gentlemen, a very pleasant good evening. It's good to have both of you here.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, we mentioned they already lost yesterday trying to come off a rebound. This is a championship caliber team. They've already got a share of the HNAC championship this year. Even though they're all out of conference games, they still have to win the games they've got. You can't rest on your laurels. You got to keep hitting the ball. You can't give up leads late in the game. So they're looking to come out tonight and just kind of prove that they are who their record says they are.
The record right now for the Lancers is 16-6, including, as you mentioned, a 14-2 mark in the Hoosier North Athletic Conference. They are guaranteed a share of the conference championship. The outcome is still in doubt as to whether or not Laville will be a shared champion or will be the sole champion of the HNAC. That'll depend on how Winnemac plays the next 2 nights. I believe they play Caston 2 nights in a row. If they win both games, then Laville and Winnemac will be co-champions. If they lose one of the games, then it will be a sole championship in the regular season for the Lancers. We're going to turn it over to the voice of Lancer Field, Mr. Steve Cox, for the introductions of the starting lineups.
Oregon-Davis Bobcats and your Laville Lancers. And now let's meet this afternoon's starting lineups, beginning first for the visiting Bobcats. Leading off and playing center field, number 11, John Messer. Batting second, playing left field, number 4, Dennis Cooley. Batting third and pitching tonight, number 1, Trevor Reisner. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 7, Jeffrey Avery. Batting fifth and catching, number 12, Quentin Luce. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 9, Dalton Salyer. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 13, Joshua Bope. Batting 8th and playing shortstop, number 5, Scrub Campbell. Batting 9th and the designated hitter, number 3, Cammie Saylor. And playing second base tonight, number 2, Jack Greger. The Bobcats are coached by Travis Minix. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Laville Lancers. Leading off and playing center field, number 22, Garth Metters. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 9, Connor Wizorik. Batting third and pitching tonight, number 4, Adam Stanky. Batting fourth and playing left field, number 2, Anthony Felke. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 13, Jimmy Fisher. Batting sixth and DH tonight, number 35, Isaiah Herbster. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 1, Justin DeClark. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 8, Nick Felke. Batting ninth and catching, number 7, Nick Moore. Playing second base, number 25, Riley Cox. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we honor this great nation and the men and women who are keeping this country safe with the playing of our national anthem.
The incomparable Steve Cox, as always, the voice of Lancer Field here. Time for Lancer Baseball, as he says. Brought to you on LVH1, the student-run broadcasting class and club here at Laville Junior Senior High School. LVH1 is live on YouTube. We hope you will follow us and subscribe to us by hitting the red subscribe button under this video. We also hope that you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live. LVH1 is solely responsible for this broadcast. Any retransmission, duplication, or dissemination without the written consent of LVH1 and the Union North United School Corporation is forbidden. LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation of Lakeville, Indiana, TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, Indiana, and First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana. It's been a windy day here at Laville. The wind blowing strong from third base straight out to right field as you look at the park here at Laville. The trees behind us and along the third base line will do their part to keep the wind down on the infield, but this is definitely a right-handed hitter's wind and weather this evening. It's a beautiful evening for baseball here at Laville. Sunny, just a few clouds in the sky, and finally, the temperature is finally turned up with the promise of summer on the way. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian, very happy to have you here. You heard the starting lineups for both teams. Adam Steinke on the mound for the Lancers. Nick Moore, the freshman, catching. And number 11 for Oregon-Davis stepping up to the plate, Messer. Oregon-Davis in gray uniforms, white letters and numbers outlined with red trim. Lancers in white uniforms with blue numbers and letters. Their home uniforms here for Laville. Steinke gets the signal outside for the first pitch of the game, and it's 1-0.
Called strike.
Was it called strike? Boy, that was outside.
It's a little bit of grace for his last game. This is Adams' last game starting here at Lancer Field, so a lot of pressure on him. He wants to end on a high note. Wants to kind of keep some of those positive memories he's had here and add one more to the repertoire that he's already developed.
Swing and a miss there, a drop ball, and this will be a quick step out into the infield by Nick Moore, out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for Steinke. One change of the lineup at first base tonight for the Lancers. Number 1, Justin DeClark, moves in from his regular spot in right field. That is manned by Nick Felke. Herbster is out of the lineup. We're speculating that he must be nursing an injury. See if we can get any details on that, but Herbster is out of the lineup.
Herbster is the DH, though.
In terms of defense, yes. He's a designated hitter, but not playing. And I think this is what you said earlier, Mr. Thomas, as Steinke delivers a 1-1. Nick Moore asking for the appeal granted. No swing, 2-1. Coach Brian Lawler for the Lancers, swing and a miss there. Wants to play as many of the seniors as he can, I think, in the lineup, no matter where they are, defensively and offensively.
Yeah, and DeClark isn't really positive what his college career will look like right now. I was just talking to him today. He's pursuing an engineering degree. He's going over to Trine University. Not really certain where he's going to fit out there as far as baseball goes, but really excited to apply that academic excellence he's really pursued his entire time here at Laville inside the classroom, taking that over to Trine, and then just seeing where everything else kind of falls in line. So this is his last game here and maybe one of his last few games playing.
DeClark has to stretch for it, but does apply the tag to the bag. 3 up, 3 down. Not a bad start for the Lancers defensively. It's a 0-0 tie. No hits recorded. We're going to the bottom of the first. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First West Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First West Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Freeman, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation. We're here at Lancer Ballpark. No hits, no runs, no errors recorded in the top of the first frame. Home finale for the Lancers. They face the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis. It is just about exam season here at Laville. I'd be remiss if I didn't wish all of our students and staff members, including our fearless rookie teacher up here, Mr. Wayne Thomas, the best of luck during the last week or so of the academic year.
Yeah, we've been putting in a lot of effort these past couple days to study. I've spent some couple days refreshing a couple of the seniors that are out here today.
With the weather warmer and in general, just more, I don't know what the right adjective would be. I'm afraid Vin Scully is frowning at me here in the swing and the miss there from Garth. The weather's been better. It's more baseball appropriate, I guess you could say, weather, as opposed to
exam appropriate.
not final exam appropriate in the least. The weather finally turning sunny, bright. Hardly a cloud in the sky this evening. Far cry from the beginning of the baseball and softball seasons we've had here at Laville. Garth Metters hit to the shortstop. Scoop and a throw. Safe off the bag. And hurt himself, and down goes number 22. His helmet comes off, and they immediately call for Gary. Did not see the injury. We'll have to take a look at it in just a moment. But he immediately threw off his helmet and went face down, and he's still laying there. Coach Mark Elliott and Coach Brian Lawler both coming over. Coach Lawler from third base. Gary Hall stretching his, what looks like his right hamstring. Not sure if the extent of the injury.
Yeah, you hate to see this, and quite the athlete out there with Metters. The whole Metters family, for that matter. Mara Metters bats lead off over with the ladies softball team. Her sister Allison helps manage the softball team. Metters coaching, everything, and just don't want to see one of them go down.
Garth is up and walking. Not sure if it was a stinger or a quick.
Maybe just came down on the base wrong.
He's definitely favoring his left leg, but he is up and he will walk off the field on his own power. A courtesy runner will come in for him. That'll be number 20, Isaac Ross. And a big round of applause for the Lancer faithful here for Garth Metters.
Attention our baseball fans, now running number 20, Isaac Ross.
Number 9, Connor Wazorek. Second batter up with the runner at first base.
Position. The shortstop, number 9, Connor Wazorek.
Garth Metters, the transfer product out of Indiana. I'm sorry, out of Ohio to Indiana earlier this semester. Swinging a fly ball fouled off backwards by Connor.
Connor's a fun one. He's a sophomore, or not a sophomore, he's a freshman on the team. He's not even a sophomore yet. Leading the team with batting average. And today I was talking to him in our first hour together, and he didn't want to focus on his batting average. He started talking about the improvements some of the other guys have made on the team, where they're getting a little bit better defensively, and really deflected a lot of that attention, whereas I think most freshman boys would just let their heads slow a little bit. He takes it all in stride.
Hit down the third base line. Ross will hold. No, he will go all the way to third. It looked like he was going to hold at second base, and Connor would have to as well, but pitch got by the third baseman and all the way into left field. Left fielder struggled to come up with the ball cleanly. So runners at second and third. Connor Wazorek will add to his already impressive just below, as you mentioned, the best batting average on the team, just below 500 on the season for the freshman. Brings up the senior, number 4, Adam Steinke. Also goes straight down third base line, and how's that for a beautifully laid down hit all the way to left field once again, and that will be a 2 RBI double for the senior. Not a bad start if you're a Lancer fan. A quick 2-0 lead over the Bobcats.
And he brings in the senior, Isaac Ross. An impressive start to this game already. Brings up another senior with Anthony Felke.
Anthony Felke batting .311 on the year. He will be going to school for athletics as well. Quick toss down to third base. Not even close to in time.
Yeah, Felke had a lot of scholarship offers. They were looking at him in Ohio, Southern Indiana. He finally decided on a college close to home, but he's going to play baseball and wrestle. So he's going to go ahead with both sports. He's actually planning a little bit of a workout with their coach in this coming week. So
Fouled back from Felke, nearly made his mother, who is right behind the netting, made her jump a little bit. Baseball player's version of hi, Mom. Called strike. Felke with the nod. No, he probably could have swung at that, but that was low and painting that bottom corner. Swung hard. This will be a base hit all the way to the fence. Not even close to the left fielder. Felke thinks about third. Would have been a tough play, so he will hold that second. Another RBI double. This one a single RBI double for Felke.
Felke with the double drives in another run.
3-0 for the Lancers.
The Lancer third baseman, number 13, Jimmy Fisher.
Number 13, Jimmy Fisher at the plate. 3-0 score, runner on second for the Lancers. Delivery outside. That was called a ball. Last time I said it was an outside pitch, you called it a strike a little bit late. Swing and a miss. And that looks like that went off the umpire's face mask, and it did. But there is no crying in baseball, so Blue will keep going. We really do have great officials here at this level of the IHSAA, between Coach Will Hostrauser, our athletic director here at Laville, our assistant, Coach Scott Shear, who we send all the best wishes to as he continues to recover from blastomycosis. He worked through earlier this month. Between the two of them, they've got extensive contacts throughout the IHSAA. We pull in some of the best and the brightest umpires and officials throughout all athletic events throughout the year. Popped up, and this will be playable by the shortstop. Straight up, straight down. The skyrocket from Fisher is the first out in the bottom of the first. 3-0 lead. Isaiah Herbster, the designated hitter tonight, he's at the plate for the Lancers.
Tonight's DH, number 35, Isaiah Herbster.
Isaiah Herbster, another freshman, batting .286, son of Dave Herbster, one of the coaches for the Lancers softball team. They are gearing up for sectionals and for the HNAC tournament this weekend. Swung hard. This will be into right field. Base hit. Run coming around. Herbie will think about going to second. Felke will come all the way to score at home. 4-0. RBI single.
The RBI single.
he was
For
hustling.
He was. Number 35 said, "I'll do the work. You put it in gear and get around the bases."
And now for the Lancers, first baseman, number 1,
Justin DeClark, number 1, at the plate. Swing and a miss. Fouled off, I should say. Back and out of play in the forest behind us and to the left here at Lancer Field. Less of a swamp these days with the weather finally drying out.
It's still not a place you want to go and try to find a baseball with a lot of briars back
Not
there.
in the least. Straight up. Can't handle it. That's the second baseman, can't handle it. Throw going to third. This is going to be off the mark. Herbie will make third standing up. And DeClark will get all the way to second base. Runners to scoring position. Nick Felke, number 8 at the plate for the Lancers.
1 out.
1 out situation in the bottom of the first inning here at Lancer Field.
Nick, the younger brother of Anthony Felke, who's already scored a run today. So the bar has already been set for the Felke family today. Let's see what he can do with it.
I was talking to Mrs. Felke.
She's
earlier.
nice to talk to.
She is. She's a wonderful, one of the many wonderful parents we have here at Laville in support of her 2 sons and the entire baseball team. But I was talking to her because Mrs. Felke is obviously a mother's tough love. She perfects that as Nick hits into center field. This will be over the head of the center fielder. He won't be able to catch it. That's going to be 2 runs, possibly more. Nope, I'm just kidding. That's Nick Felke to second base. Justin DeClark will take third. Good hustle by the center fielder to try and cut off another run, but it's an RBI double for Nick Felke. That'll bring up Nick Moore at the plate for the Lancers. 5-0, still one out, bottom of the first, and Oregon-Davis has to be looking for anything to try and get out of an inning. They've already conceded 5 runs.
Yeah, and I don't think this is quite the way they wanted to start their road game. But like we said earlier, this Lancer team came out with something to prove. They are not, they're not going to give up on this season. They've still got a couple more wins in them.
Called strike, 2-1 to the young freshman. In the dirt. Called ball. And Nick, you can tell the catcher in him immediately waves off Justin DeClark. Justin had already had a lead off of third base. Saw that the catcher dropped it, swung, and fouled out of territory. Full count.
Yeah, Nick's very promising, especially as a young catcher. That's a hard position to come in, brand new to the team. But he handles that adversity well. Well, he's still got a little bit of improvement to make. You're not going to make that improvement without experience.
Hitting the center field into the gap. This will be another base hit. That was a winged insect into my face that caused that little bit of a stutter in my voice there. RBI single. Coach Cox at the other end of the press box saying, "Eat it, it's protein. I have to get past the stinger first, my friend." I'm tough, he says. I don't know who he's been listening to. Number 20, Isaac Ross, top of the lineup.
Now batting, number 20, Isaac Ross.
Runners at the corners for number 20, one of the other seniors on the roster. Nick Felke at third. Going back to that story I was saying earlier, Mrs. Felke gives him the tough love. He gets no sympathy from Mr. Felke, who's another IHSAA umpire. And so I had the conversation the other day, who gets the sympathy in the Felke house? And the answer is the youngest Felke, their sister.
I think Nick and Anthony would probably agree. We just got stolen base from Nick Moore.
Yep, uncontested second base. Base hit into right field. 1 run will score. That'll be an RBI single, and that's just chipping away at Oregon-Davis. 1 run scored, another run scored, and it's building up to a 7-0 lead for the Lancers here in the bottom of the first.
Both Felkes with a standing double, both with a run, both with 1 RBI. The competition's close today.
Connor Razorek at the plate.
And I think with Ross coming in to take that at bat, that gives away to the fact that Garth's not coming back this game. So I hope he's doing all right out there in the dugout.
One and one to Connor Razorek, who already has a double on the day with runners on the corners. Swung hard. This will be a base hit over the head of the second baseman into right field. Scooped, tossed to second. Isaac Ross says, all right, you're going to hesitate on the throw. I'll take third base. And yet another. This is I believe this will be the 4th RBI single for the Lancers in a row. I'll let
Third.
third.
4th RBI hit in a row.
4th RBI hit.
And they haven't had an out since Fisher in the middle of the lineup. Now they're getting all the way to Stanky over in the 3 spot. No, but this is not errors on the part of OD. They haven't put up an error yet.
This is just good.
Been solid hitting from the Lancers.
Yeah, Laville's finding all the holes and making them pay. I mean, they hit the ball, they run the bases well, and they put up 8 runs.
After a quick conference with Coach Travis Minix and the infield, no position changes, just a quick toss and say, hey, let's get 2 outs, get out of this inning. Outside, ball 1. It is a junior-heavy team, according to the unofficial roster we have on Max Preps for Oregon-Davis. high, ball 2. 8 juniors, 2 sophomores, 3 freshmen, and a senior, John Messer, on the roster for the Bobcats. This will be another hit by the senior, Adam Steinke. He goes to first base. Yet another RBI single for the Lancers.
4 in a row.
That is now 4 in a row. 4 in a row. 5th RBI hit in a row.
And now for the Lancers, left fielder number 2, Anthony Felke.
I'm happy to have people that keep me honest. That's what the job's all about. Wayne Thomas is to my right, keeping stats and doing color commentary. Dennis Feitz, Laville alum, to my left. Lost in the sun. Comes down right on the first base line. That's a hit from Anthony Felke that goes foul. That's 0-1 to number 2.
Might have lucked out a little bit there.
I lost it too, but a little hard transitioning from being in the shade here to the light out there.
Lancer Field here at Laville Junior Senior High School, well maintained by the boys. That's a hard hit. That'll be to center field. That'll be catchable if they can get underneath it. That's 1. Wide over the head of the third baseman, Connor Wazorek. Will think about third. Thought about home. Runners advance, so that'll be a single.
Advance to second and third.
No, I'm sorry, that'll be a sac fly, which I know Coach Will hates, but runners will advance to second and third. Lucky number 13, Jimmy Fisher at the plate. 9-run lead, 2 outs. High, but gets into the strike zone.
The curveball broke at the right time.
Perfect timing for Oregon-Davis. 0-1 to Fisher.
I know it's a little early in the game, but Fisher is the only one without a hit at this point.
He will continue to be hitless as he fouls that one off down the first base line. 0-2 to number 13.
Despite the just seeming monsoon of hits that we've seen.
Fisher batting .290 on the season as a freshman, one of many solid freshmen on the roster. Delivery fouled off the other way. We'll do it again, 0-2.
Yeah, this is a good team, but it's also a good young team. It's not all just seniors carrying the weight. This is a team where the seniors can do their part, but they can really spread it out. They don't have to take all that extra pressure on.
Pitch goes wide. Now I'm going to ask the general consensus, as I usually do when I get confused about things. Ask the people that are smarter than me. So, Mr. Thomas. Oh, wait, I said, would that be scored a pass ball or a wild pitch, gentlemen?
That would have been a pass ball because the catcher had an opportunity to try to stop it as the rundown starts, and he got him. But
hesitated there. Adam Steinke knows he could have had a better play at third, but that'll be the third out. Damage done in the bottom of the first. Oregon-Davis concedes 9 runs to the Lancers. We'll have the box score when we get back from these commercials from our sponsors. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Athletics and the voice of Lancer Nation.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass throw. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Top of inning number 2 here at Lancer Field, 9-0 in favor of the Lancers. After a 9-run bottom of the first, Lancers score 9 off of 11 hits, 1 left on, no errors. Tip of the hat to Mr. Mark Felke, who's watching this at home. I promise we're not talking any trash about you in between innings. But a tip of the hat to Mr. Mark Felke, father of Anthony and Nick Felke. We did have a position change here on LVH1. Welcome back to the Lancers ballpark. Laville versus Oregon-Davis. Avery. Number 7, Avery at the plate, 0-2. In the dirt, that'll be ball 1.
Yeah, I really like these OD uniforms. I don't know if you're supposed to say that or not. I like on the back, though, right above their numbers, it says OD. You're not really playing for your stats. You're not playing for Avery. You're playing for OD. So what do you represent in every at-bat? What do you represent when you're fielding? I think it really builds that unity amongst the team. And I'm doing hand motions as if you can see that on the broadcast.
Avery watches strike 3 go by, 1 out.
For Oregon-Davis, the catcher, number 12, Quentin Luce.
Luce at the plate, number 12, the catcher. We'll see if we can get a shot of the Oregon-Davis uniforms in a bit. But as you said, Mr. Thomas, it's a lot like the my favorite college football team, Notre Dame. They don't put the names on the back of jerseys except in extreme and special circumstances. A lot like Navy, a lot like Army. 2-1 to Luce, playing for something bigger than just your name. 3-1. Everyone kind of held their breath with that one. That was right on the money, the bottom of the strike zone. 3-1 to Luce. Delivery from Steink outside. That'll be a base on balls for number 4, first one of the game.
And something that's fairly uncommon for Stank. Normally when number 4 takes the mound, he is very consistent. Doesn't like to give up that fourth ball, but here.
Coming into this game, Steinke, the senior, had 42.1 innings pitched, an ERA of 1.82, 6-1 as a starter. He's allowed 48 hits and faced 169 batters this year. Just the 14th walk on the year for number 4 on the mound for the Lancers. Delivery, 0-2.
But he pairs that with his 3 Ks already for the game.
On the year, he's got 46 and now 49 for number 4.
Stanky, not just a baseball guy, he scored 1,000, broke the 1,000 point threshold in basketball this year after several years being on the team. So he's put in a lot of effort in several sports, and he's had another one where colleges are looking in for various sports, not just baseball or football, but even basketball.
In the dirt, 1-2.
I must mention that Kara took first base for the catcher, Luce. So we do have a courtesy runner on for the catcher.
Dennis Veit's doing video for us with the eagle eyes as usual. Outside, close but called. Ball 2. 2-2 is the count. To Sawyer.
My hieroglyphics were a little bad that
Pardon
time.
me. Sawyer has worked at full now from Steinke, runner at first base. 9-0 is the lead that the Lancers have built up in the first inning. Delivery. Close and called, ball 4. So just the 15th walk on the year, 2 in this inning. That means runners at first and second for the Bobcats. Brings up right fielder Joshua Bope.
Yeah, that was a good pitch, too. It was low. That would have been one of those pitches where they had to just swing at it and miss, but this time it just wasn't called.
Steinke checks second, delivers, swing and a miss from number 13. 0-2, 1 out.
Great game being called here by Nick Moore in the pitch selection.
Freshman doing his part behind the plate. Delivery, swing and a miss. That'll be a swinging K. 4th of the night for number 4.
And that puts him at 50 for the season.
2 outs.
With 2 outs and runners at first and second,
For Oregon-Davis, shortstop, number 5,
it'll be number 5,
Campbell.
Scrub Campbell at the plate, the shortstop for the Bobcats tonight.
Scrub is not his real name, for those listening at home. It's a nickname. But he never goes by his real name, so they just call him Scrub.
Fouls one back for the first strike. Steinke checks second, checks again, delivers. High, right on the edge, called ball. A little bit of chatter there from great break. A little bit of chatter from the fans and from the press box here. 1-1 delivery on the way. Swing. That'll be into left field. And in and out of the glove of number 2, Anthony Felke. Throw into third, going to be over the head. 1-run score, so it'll be an RBI single for Oregon-Davis. Their first hit and run of the game this evening.
What do you rule that, Mr. Thomas?
He's asking because he wants to rule it an error.
I didn't. I called that a single. That was a hard hit ball.
I agree with Mr. Cox.
As usual, the debate has started.
Batting now for Oregon-Davis, the designated hitter, number 3, Cammy Saylor.
Those
Camriel
short little legs were carrying him across left field. He just couldn't get there quick enough.
Camriel Saylor at the plate. One of 2 sophomores on the roster for Oregon-Davis.
I believe she played for the OD girls basketball team.
I believe she did as well. We'll double check that, see if Max Preps can pull that in for us. Watches strike 2 go by, 1-2 with 2 outs, runner at the corners for the Bobcats. The 5'6" sophomore does indeed play baseball, basketball, and volleyball for Oregon-Davis, making the Bobcats one of the few teams that we will face this year that is co-ed. They put a run on the board, but strand 2 in the bottom of the second is coming up next here on LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First West Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
First West Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC. LVH1, the student-run broadcasting class and club here at Laville Junior Senior High School, is seeking advertisers and donors for the 2017-2018 academic year and sports seasons. If you are interested in advertising or donating to LVH1 and supporting the work of students learning about sports journalism, interviewing, video editing, and technical work behind the scenes producing the weekly games here at Laville and the daily broadcasts of our announcements, please go to broadcasting@unorth.k12.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151. Bottom of the second, Riley Cox, first pitch he sees, a swing and a hit down to swinging. That was definitely Riley Cox. Number 25 is indeed Riley Cox, and I'll have to unmute my colleagues here. Tyler Holland at the plate, and you can tell Coach Brian Lawler is subbing in his players, his bench, as the Lancers are up by 8 runs over the Bobcats. Tyler Holland, number 19 at the plate, which means the Holland cheer squad has erupted downstairs. Outside, called ball, 2-0. No, called a strike. A delayed call, but outside for 1-1 to number 19.
I haven't had Tyler in any classes this year, but he was part of our DECA club, and really just a phenomenal young man. First year in it, and he got invited down to state, got first place in a competition, moved on to state, and he was just a few points away from going to nationals. He almost got to take me to Anaheim, California for school. How cool would that be, hanging out with Mr. Thomas in California for school? But just missed out. He's really looking forward to coming back next year, and we're trying to get another shot to get out of here for a couple days.
Tyler Holland watches ball 2, close and inside, swings and misses, fouls one off. We'll do it again, 2-2 the count, 1 out. Warming up the on-deck circle will be number 15 for the Lancers. That'll be Trent Brooks coming in, freshman, getting some playing time as well. Also, defensively, there's a change for the Bobcats as Holland watches ball 3 go by at eye level. Now pitching for the Bobcats, number 5. I'll double-check that name. Lance Campbell on the mound for the Bobcats after a 9-run first inning conceded by Oregon-Davis. Tyler Holland has to wait a second or two. The pitch was in the dirt, but base on balls. And Lancers have a man aboard with Trent Brooks coming up to the plate, number 15. On the season, through 8 games, he's batting .200, not bad at all. There's a hit, and that'll be all the way to the right fielder. Trent takes a couple of steps off just to keep him honest. Good hit there by the freshman. 2 on for the Lancers. That brings up number 16, the sophomore, Austin Stanley Horvath. Austin through, and I'm going to check this, through 4 games that he has been at the plate as a starter, he is still hitless. 4 at-bats, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs, so he has gotten aboard and gotten some hits. 2-0 to number 16. In the dirt, called a strike. I'm just going to stop supposing and waiting for either the fist or the...
Maybe we're at a bad angle.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. My goodness gracious.
That's in the dirt.
Well, so was the last one, I'd argue. 3-1, regardless of who's keeping track, accurately or inaccurately. 3-1 is the count. Here's the delivery. Chopper straight back to the pitcher, can't play it, has to scoop and quick toss in time to the first baseman. So Austin Stanley Horvath goes down on a 1-3. Brings up Isaac Ross, runners at second and third for the senior.
Leadoff hitter number 20, Isaac Ross.
Isaac Ross with a hit already today, a run, an RBI, and looking to add to it.
In and out of the gloves of the left fielder, this will be 1 run scored and 2 runs scored. 2 RBI single for our very own Isaac Ross.
That's an error.
I think that's an error.
I've heard it might be an error.
Now batting for the Lancers, number
The score is 11-1 in favor of the Lancers, bottom of the second. And up at the plate for the Lancers, number 21, Jake Martin. Coach Brian Lawler doing everything he can to get all his players at the plate, get them some much needed and invaluable game experience. Delivery outside, wild pitch, or I'm sorry, this will be a pass ball. Ross will trot over to second. And that reminds me, I had to correct myself earlier, a sacrifice fly. Mr. Thomas gently reminded me during the last commercial break is not a sacrifice fly unless a run scores. So,
But it is a quality at bat, which is something they started monitoring a little bit more these past couple of weeks.
1-1 to Martin. And I'll let you explain that, actually, because I don't think we've talked about that on the air. And I think it's absolutely fascinating, but don't know enough about it as Jake Martin stares down 1-1.
No, it's another metric that they're able to use. And I'll talk about it a little bit more after the break.
Jake Martin with a skyrocket collected by the voice of Lancer Nation.
Introducing T&A Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in shop or on site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to LVH1's coverage of Lancer baseball from Laville's Lancer Field. The score is 12-1 in favor of the home team over the Oregon-Davis Bobcats. A whole host, I think a complete defensive change for the Lancers going into this inning. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Sveitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us on LVH1. We'll try and pick out the numbers and the names as we can defensively. The biggest change is on the mound for the Lancers, number 13, Jimmy Fisher. He comes in from third base. And we're underway in the top of the third. Going around defensively, I'll make sure I double check this. I believe that's Tyler Holland at first base, and it is. Anthony Felke is catching now, number 2 behind the plate for the Lancers. That's your 2 position. 3, first base is Tyler Holland. Jake Martin's at second base, number 21 for the Lancers. Robbie Pope is at third base. Riley Cox is at shortstop. And we'll have to double check on the outfielders and their numbers.
Stanley Horvath is in left.
Hit to Martin, second base, quick scoop. And a toss over to Holland. Out number 1. Austin Stanley Horvath is in, I'm sorry, say that again, Dennis?
He's in
left
left.
field. Trent Brooks is in center field, and Isaac Ross is in right field for the Lancers. Wayne Thomas is to my right, Dennis Feitz is to my left, and I'm Matt Florian. Happy to be here with you on LVH1's presentation of Lancer Baseball, the home finale here from Lancer Field. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about quality at bats.
Yeah, please.
It's just another metric, something to show like you didn't score a run, you didn't get the RBI, but you still had a very successful at bat for one of 12 different reasons, if I remember right, going off my very poor memory. And that was a little bit of a P9 that we just had. Isaac Ross moving over to right field and getting that quick out.
Great play in right field by number 20, the senior. Reisner at the plate for Oregon-Davis.
So they measure 12 things. They look at, did you get a hit, which is normally considered a pretty good at-bat anyway, so no big deal there. But a hard hit ball is even a quality at-bat. Sometimes you'll knock it to the fence. You hit it hard enough for a home run, almost. You just missed it. The wind knocked it down. That's still a good at-bat. And I'll mention the other 10 after the next break.
Robbie Pope making short work of Reisner. Great throw after a little bit of a bobbled scoop, but a great throw from third to first base. A 5-3 putout, 3 up, 3 down for the Bobcats. We go to the bottom of the third. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Freeman, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member Bottom of the third inning here at Lancer Field. After some complete changes to the defensive lineup, Lancers will make equally dramatic changes to the batting order. Now batting in the number 3 spot is number 3, Robbie Pope, the third baseman for the Lancers. 12-1 is the score in favor of the home team over the visiting Oregon-Davis Bobcats. LVH1 Broadcasting brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, and TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, Indiana. Wayne Thomas, Dennis Feitz, and Matt Florian, very happy you're with us on LVH1. We hope you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. Pope with a good hit, a good quality at-bat for number 3. He'll think about second base. The left fielder had a little trouble collecting that one, but he is aboard with the single in the bottom of the first, and an 11-run lead for the Lancers with number 2, the Lancer catcher, Anthony Felke, at the plate.
Yeah, so we were talking about quality at-bats, and I'll try to go through a little quicker here, but we said there's a hit, the hard hit where it goes to the fence. Probably their least favorite is a hit by pitch. Man, that's going to be a single.
Grounder hit to the third baseman. Throw over to second base is on time, but not
Runners at first and second.
Not caught well. That advances all the runners by 1, so a single. Jimmy Fisher at the plate. One and 0.
So after that, they've got the hit by pitch. They've got a walk, which they don't like much either. But it shows that that's a good quality at bat. You took some pitches. An 8-pitch at bat, which really wears down that pitcher. So it's going to develop something kind of like moving chess pieces. He's not going to be quite as strong or as precise. We're going to get this guy out of here. So an 8-pitch at bat. We're even just getting 4+ pitches after a 0-2 count. So you're down the count. You got a pitcher's count on you. And you take another 4 pitches. Even if you strike out at that time, you wore them down. You did your job. Sacrifice, bunt, or fly, both count. Dragging or pushing in the proper spot, so getting that ball to line up down one of the first base or third base line. Moving a runner with 0 outs, which is what we had earlier. Successful hit and run, so he's already stealing. You hit the ball, he take 2 bases off of that steal. And then an RBI, which is we smile about getting.
The metrics is ended with Riley Cox staring down 2-0, the delivery on the way. Inside, ball 3, bases loaded for the Lancers. My understanding is the metric is how well, not necessarily how well you contribute in terms of on-base percentage, but how well you face the opposing pitcher and help those players that may or may not be on base.
It helps some of those players who may not have a
18-1 is the score for the Lancers.
Number 19, Tyler Holland.
Wants to jump in real quick. The signal is coming in. And we're often reminded of that with our stream on the internet, very largely dependent on internet connectivity. Trent Brooks takes first base on balls. Another run will score. 14-1 is the score for the Lancers.
That's going to bring up a pitching change for us. After giving up 14 runs, it's time to transition out maybe.
Yes, it
try
is.
to see how this next pitcher is able to handle things.
Oregon-Davis just a little worn down, playing a lot of good teams and close games lately. That 8-inning game they played just 2 nights ago, definitely something you have to rest up from, and playing a very energetic Lancer team on the road, definitely something difficult to do, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's kind of demoralizing when you give up 9 runs in the first inning of a
10.
ball game. They give up all these runs, and you know, how do you respond to that? How do you bounce back? Again, none of them were from errors in that first inning. They score all these runs. It's not that anybody messed up. The Lancers were just hitting the ball right to where they needed to hit them, and it kind of crushed the spirits of an opposing pitcher. But his second and third inning were equally good, I guess. He gave up. He pitched the way he needed to. He didn't give up those hits. They defended a lot better. But the pitch count just got a little bit higher than I'm sure he wanted to after a long game.
And that will bring Salyer to the mound.
Salyer on the mound warming up here on LVH1. Number
Full count now to Ross, so he will be protecting, trying to advance the runners.
And for those that are watching at home, as I said once again, we have just gotten our stream back. We are dealing with some Wi-Fi issues. We appreciate your patience as always. What we've started doing is broadcasting in perhaps a lower quality. If you're watching on a laptop or on a high-speed internet, it will be a choppy kind of connection. But we will upload the game later at full quality and high definition. So for those that are tuning in, we appreciate you sticking with us. Isaac Ross flies out to the third baseman. Lancers will strand 3, but it's a 14-1 lead going into the 4th inning. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Freeman, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Introducing T&A Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in-shop or on-site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
Welcome back to Lancer Field. Top of the fourth inning, 14-1 in favor of the home team. Lancers are facing the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis. 1-1, the count early to number 7. Avery. Jimmy Fisher on the mound for the Lancers. Swing, foul tip. Nick Felke took that one, looked like off of his left wrist.
I think that might be Anthony Felke.
Now, I'm sorry, that is Anthony Felke. He'll take a moment. Official behind the plate will give him time to stretch out and make sure he's still in good working condition. Anthony, one of those tough multi-sport athletes. We have so many of them here at Laville that sometimes we take them for granted. But Anthony, being a wrestler, went to state, I believe, this year and last year, if I'm not mistaken. And as a catcher on the Lancer baseball team, he's taken his share of blows in different sports. Also did football, I believe, last year and the year before devoting his time to baseball and wrestling during the wintertime. Base on balls from number 13. Fisher sends Avery to first base. That brings up Luce, number 12, for the Bobcats. And I've also been told that we need to send a very hearty thank you for tuning in and a very sincere greeting to Mr. and Mrs. Dale Cox at home who are tuned in. Legendary athletic director and coach and just all-around fantastic human being here at Laville Junior Senior High School. Swing and a miss there.
Legendary just doesn't really begin to sell all that he's accomplished. Where we are now with our athletic program, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Dale. So thank you very much for what you've given us.
Thank you for tuning in as well. Strike 2 from Fisher to Luce. I was fortunate enough to interview both Dale and Steve Cox earlier this winter for the Bi-County tournament. Hit in the direction of Jake Martin. Quick toss over to first. Great job by number 2. Number 21 at second base. Second base, Jake Martin, the freshman, really doing a great job there. Works hard for the 4-3 putout. 1 out. Runner at second base. Number 9, Dalton Salyer at the plate for Oregon-Davis. They're looking for some hits.
Great range there by Martin.
Delivery in the dirt, ball 1. Coach Cox.
They say any given Thursday, is that how it goes? Any given Thursday, this game isn't over until it's over, but it's going to be over soon if they can't start to really put some hits together.
Shows he wants to bunt, pulls back, watches ball 2 go by. Salyer's got a man aboard. Second base, 1 out. Swing to the shortstop. Tag there. Tag applied, I should say, at third base. 6'5" put out. Good work there from Riley Cox to the freshman Robbie Pope.
2 outs. Runner at first. Brings to the plate. Opening right field,
Runner
number
at first
13,
with 2 outs.
Joshua
Number
Bope.
13 at the plate for Oregon-Davis, Joshua Bope.
And if you're watching at home, this is a glimpse into the future. This is close to a time machine as you'll get. You look out there and we've got freshmen, sophomore in positions they don't normally play. Coming out here, getting some playing time. This is very well what you could be tuning into next year when we come back.
I completely agree. I mean, you have Felke, who's a senior, playing at the moment, but you have Nick Moore, who's a freshman, who he's subbing in for at the moment, and you have Isaac Ross in right field, and those are the only upperclassmen on the field at this time.
All the players that are freshmen on this squad that I've spoken to this year, they've said, you know, this year we're just trying to learn. I think it's the same thing you mentioned with Connor Wazorek. As a freshman, great catch there. My goodness gracious. The freshmen want to learn, and they can start taking lessons from Isaac Ross, our very own Grandpa Rossi in right field with a phenomenal play. Third out recorded in the top of the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Lancers lead 14-1 over the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank.
Member FDIC.
Hey Lancer fans, advertising spots are available today with LVH1. Advertising with LVH1 at Laville Junior Senior High School gives your business publicity with high school parents, fans, and families throughout the state of Indiana and beyond.
Advertisements can be provided by your business or made in-house by our mass media class at the high school.
All the funding goes directly to the student program and will help us gain hands-on experience in the broadcasting, video editing, and marketing fields.
If you are interested in advertising during athletic events throughout the year, please contact the broadcasting program at broadcasting@unorth.ksgov.in.us or call us at 574-784-3151.
Advertise today with LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
LVH1 Broadcasting is the student-run broadcasting class and club at Laville Junior Senior High School, and is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend, and First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy to have you aboard on the season home finale for the Lancer baseball team. They face the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis and are all over OD, 14-1. Bottom of the 4th, second baseman number 21, Jake Martin, at the plate as leadoff hitter. Subbing in just about every single person that they can on the bench. Coach Brian Lawler, Coach Mark Elliott, Coach Zach Moore doing a fantastic job of getting their players some valuable experience in game situations before the sectionals get started just a few days away.
And we're resting a freshman right now. Connor Wazorek is a freshman, and they're putting Jake Martin in for him. So, again, just a testament to how young this team really is and how much we have ahead of us.
I'll finish my point on the after the hit by pitch by Jake Martin.
That's a quality at bat.
That is a quality at bat. They may not like it, and there's always the chance for injury, which coaches will absolutely hate. But Jake Martin, as Tyler Holland down in the dugout so enthusiastically hollers, "Wear it!" Number 21 at first base for the hit by pitch. Number 3, Robbie Pope at the plate. And we should mention, there's a new pitcher on the mound for Oregon-Davis, I had thought.
There is.
Messer.
Messer, number 11. Thank you. Is it Bope?
No, it's Messer.
John Messer, the senior. One and 0 count. Delivery on the way, high. Ball 2. Seniors always teach the underclassmen. This year and last year were interesting situations because we had two years where the same class of players for the baseball team were doing the teaching. Last year there were no seniors on the roster. The juniors had the leadership roles last year and this year. And they've got a whole bunch of freshmen to teach. And it's like you said earlier in the broadcast, Mr. Thomas, the freshmen like Connor Wazorek, like Robbie Pope, whenever you see them in the hallways, you say, hey, good hit. And it's like, yeah, well, and then not necessarily beating themselves up, but there's a lot more to learn. You get the sense that they'll put in the time first. They'll put in the time before they
really take those accolades.
Take the accolades and take the full-time starts. Full count to Pope. Watches the ball in the dirt. So a hit by pitch, a base on balls, and Anthony Felke at the plate.
Runners at first and second. Now batting for the Lancers,
And I think they'll tell you they love their free bases, so they took 2 free bases to start this inning out. A walk and then a hit by pitch. Now Felke's coming up to bat. I actually subbed here at Laville for a couple years before getting a full-time teaching position. But Felke was just one of those names. When you come in, you've got a roster and 6 classes you don't know. You see Anthony Felke's name on there, and you're like, hey, this is going to be, at least one class is going to be okay. So I was always happy to see his name, and I was pretty happy to see it on my own roster a couple times this year. One of those seniors that we're going to miss, not just playing ball, but coming into our class every day, doing his best, setting the bar a little bit higher for everyone else that's around him.
Hit to right field. That'll be a quality at-bat by a quality senior for the Lancers.
And I would say all of that even if Dad weren't listening. So
Felke's definitely doing a fine job here at Laville. Jimmy Fisher at the plate for the Lancers. Number 13, no outs, runners everywhere for Laville. Delivery on the way outside, ball 1.
Fisher's exciting to see. I watched him come out and pitch a couple for one inning to close out a game a week or so ago. And with the final 3 batters, he got 2 strikeouts. Just cleaned it up. So he's going to be fun to watch.
Fisher wanted that one back. He tried to pull the bat back, thought about a swing, pulled back, but it still made contact, so that'll be a foul.
That was almost like a pool shot.
Yeah. Even he couldn't believe he made contact.
I'll give him $1 to do it again.
Never in a million years. Watches ball 2 go by, 2-1 is the count.
So early bases loaded situation for the young freshman. Potentially a lot of pressure, but it's a little bit less when you've got a monstrous lead to kind of lean on. You're able to go up there and just do your job, taking that bat. You're not worried about the whole game. You're able to just focus on a couple key pitches.
Hit to the shortstop, force out at home.
That's going to be a fielder's choice, but
Oregon-Davis will get the lead runner out to prevent another run being scored. Lancers still have bases loaded with number 25, the shortstop, Riley Cox, coming up to the plate. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. That's something you have to consider as a coach or as a manager. On one hand, you want, talked about quality at-bats throughout this game. We talked about quality at-bats. You want your players, especially the young freshmen, to have good quality at-bats and good playing time. But on the other hand, sportsmanship has to start taking you have to start taking that into consideration when you have a 13-run lead on an opponent that's already gone through 4 different pitchers.
Yeah, and I don't think they come out here to embarrass anyone. This isn't the NCAA. Your rankings don't move up because you outscored your opponents by this much. Nobody's sitting in a room analyzing everything, and there's some of that sportsmanship there, just running back and taking his base.
Pass ball by number 11, Bope. No movement from first and second base for the Lancers. Robbie Pope at third base takes about 2 steps towards home plate and then trots right back. Coach Brian Lawler right over his shoulder. Outside, ball 4, so the Bobcats will walk another run home, and it's a 14-run lead. In number 7 for the Bobcats. We'll take a moment, step aside while he warms up. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation and the voice of Lancer Athletics.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Freeman, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank. Member FDIC.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
Jeffrey Avery on the mound for Oregon-Davis, alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz. I'm Matt Florian, very happy you're with us. Bobcats in a deep hole against the Lancers in the season home finale for Laville here at Lancer Field. 16-1 is the deficit the Bobcats are working against. Bases loaded for the Lancers. Trent Brooks at the plate. In the bullpen, we've spotted Robbie Pope for the Lancers warming up. No doubt he will have just 1 inning of work, or 1/2 inning of work, I should say. Delivery, swing and a miss there from Trent. Good start for the Oregon-Davis relief pitcher.
Trent Brooks been on base both times up to bats today, so no reason to really start swinging at anything crazy here.
Another pass ball by Avery. And again, conservative is the game plan for Coach Brian Lawler right now. Up big over the Bobcats. Delivery high. Ball 3-1 in the count to the freshman Trent Brooks. Swing and a foul tip. Avery has worked it full for the Bobcats. Delivery high and called strike 3. A little bit of a chuckle from the far end of the press box, shall we say a generous strike zone with the score 16-1. Austin Stanley Horvath, the left fielder at the plate. Swing, and this will be a chance for a 2-run play. One, he's decided to go the hard way instead of the quick toss over to home plate, but it is a 1-3 play for out number 3. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Lancers lead 16-1 over the Bobcats of Oregon-Davis. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank. Member FDIC.
LVH1 Broadcasting brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend. We hope you will subscribe to us on YouTube by hitting the red subscribe button. We hope you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us on this broadcast of Lancer baseball here from Lancer Field.
We've got a lot of happy Lancer fans down there. A couple of them tried dancing. I think that's what they were going to call it. In between innings there and getting into the great musical selection Dr. Steve Cox brought us today. A little bit of Chumbawamba, I believe.
Straight out of the 90s, straight out of my childhood. 16-1 is the score. New pitcher on the mound for the Lancers. Robbie Pope moves from third base onto the bump. Your box score through 4 complete innings. Lancers have scored 16 runs on 16 hits, no errors for the home team, and 8 left on. Meanwhile, the Bobcats have 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error for Oregon-Davis, and 3 left on base thus far in the game. Outside, that'll be ball 2. Oregon-Davis will travel to Culver Academies on the 20th. That'll be their second to last game of the regular season. They're at Culver Academies on the 20th, and then they host Caston for the season finale. Riley Cox can't get to the hit from number 11 for the Bobcats, Campbell. So an RBI for the first man aboard. And that brings up number 3, Camriel Saylor.
Now batting for Oregon-Davis, number 3, Cammy Saylor.
Cammy Saylor is batting in the lineup as one of the few members of a team that is co-ed here in Indiana for baseball. Also plays basketball and volleyball at Oregon-Davis High School down in Hamlet, Indiana. Played on the JV team this year in a program led, of course, by the legend Terry Minix. Oregon-Davis made it to the semi-state game against Lafayette Central Catholic last year to conclude their season. That was a loss to Central Catholic, 75-63, and Cammy Saylor is aboard with a walk from Pope. No outs, top of the 5th. 16-1 is the score for the Lancers. That brings up number 13 for Oregon-Davis, Joshua Bope. Runners at first and second for Oregon-Davis. Outside, pass ball, runners will go. Felke will concede. Second and third base, so a double steal And Wayne Thomas keeping me honest, as always. That was number 15 at the plate, Samuel Hayes, not Joshua Bope. Correction there in the Oregon-Davis batting order.
Not all of us enjoy the big numbers, so.
Hayes watches ball 2 go by from Robbie Pope. Robbie on the year prior to this has only had 2 appearances as a pitcher, 2.1 innings pitched. He's faced 13, conceded 3 runs, 3 hits, including 3 earned runs, but has struck out 5. But early in the 5th inning here at Lancer Field, he has conceded a hit and 2 walks. And this will lead to a quick conference. And how's this for, like you said, I think you said it so very accurately, a time capsule look. There's a freshman on third base, Jimmy Fisher, calling a quick timeout. Anthony Felke did it again. Anthony Felke, the senior catcher, going out to talk to a freshman pitcher. And just nothing more than just a quick pat on the back. Look for this strike zone. Let's get 3 outs and go home.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Felke's just saying, look, I'm ready to eat some dinner. Throw some strikes, send us home. Get your homework done.
That's always important at this time of year. Delivery from Pope on the way. That's going to be a hit by pitch. Not what he wanted. That'll bring a run home, advance the runners. So that's a hit by pitch delivered to Cooley. And this will bring Coach Brian Lawler out, and it looks like he's going to call upon number 20, Isaac Ross, to wrap this game up.
And they may just do a switch of positions here, so.
I think that is what they are going to do. Quick pat on the back from Tyler Holland and from Isaac Ross as Robbie goes and trots off into right field.
So no, Isaac Ross is actually responsible for Pope's ERA here. Any runs he gives up, or at least these first 3, are attributed to Pope. So try to help his teammate out and keep his ERA where it is.
We'll take a moment, step aside, pay some of our bills. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
Introducing T&A Rigging Incorporated. Since 2005, we have been the premier machinery moving company for Lakeville and the surrounding areas. Our experts specialize in moving heavy equipment and machinery. We can also install, repair, and offer precision alignment for your machines. We can help with crane services and steel fabrication in shop or on site. For more info, visit tarigging.com or call 574-233-3074.
Isaac Ross warming up on the bump for the Lancers here at Lancer Field. It's a 16-2 lead. Bases loaded. Top of the 5th inning, no outs. That brings up number 1, Reisner for Oregon-Davis. Trevor Reisner, through this game so far, grounded into 2 outs in his previous 2 at-bats. Seeing if he can wake up his bat, get a few more runs on the board with runners in scoring position for the Bobcats. It's a hit straight to to Riley Cox. Isaac Ross tried to snag it, but saw quickly it was going to go way outside, nearly straight into the glove of number 25 at shortstop. That'll be a 6 unassisted for out number 1.
Not much goes over the head of Isaac Ross, but Riley Cox has got a little bit of height to him too. Stretches out, gets that catch, gets an out. leaves the bases loaded, but gets them one out closer to studying for finals.
1-1 from Isaac Ross. Delivery in the dirt. Good job by Anthony Felke, keeping that in front of him with runners in scoring position for the Bobcats. Here's a 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss.
That was a hefty swing, too.
Jeff Avery wanted all of that. Outside. Can't get it to curve down, so it's a full count. Isaac Ross. Here's the money pitch. In the dirt, and that'll be another run walked home.
Yeah, Isaac didn't get to pitch a lot last year because of the injury we'd already talked about. He didn't have a whole lot of pitching experience this year up until just a couple weeks ago. So he's still kind of getting the feel of things in his senior year and getting his arm stretched back out to where it needs to be, getting that rotation in the shoulder that you need. And that's a strike every day. Do they have quality pitches? Can you call those?
I think that would be your good old-fashioned ERA. And I think, as you said, this is going to be an interesting conclusion of the game for the Lancer pitching staff, because Robbie Pope loaded up the bases. It will be Isaac Ross responsible for Pope's ERA. Strike two, 1-2 is the count. To Luce. Quentin Luce, chopper to the second baseman. Quick toss, can't make it in time, no play anywhere. Jake Martin in and out, struggled with that, bounced as it got from the grass to the dirt. So another run will score. RBI single for Quentin Luce.
Now batting for Oregon-Davis, number 9, Dalton Salyer.
That'll bring Dalton Salyer to the plate. Salyer has a walk and a 6-5 out earlier in this game. Takes strike one. Strike two. Delivery on the way. Called ball. Painting the outside edge, doesn't get the call. Delivery on the way. Another one, just about the same spot. Anthony Felke waited for the call, did not come, so it's 2-2. One out, top of the fifth, runners everywhere for the Bobcats, 16-4, and that's outside, no doubt. 3 straight balls from number 20 on the mound for the Lancers.
Yeah, Felke really tried to frame that last one, but just didn't quite get the call he'd wanted.
Got him that time. Caught looking. Josh Bope.
2 outs.
That brings up. I'm sorry, that was. I double-checked Dalton Salyer. And that brings up Joshua Bope right now.
Joshua Bope.
Another correction from my incomparable stats crew. Keep me honest.
I think this is number 13.
I think this is. Swing, chopper into the Lancer dugout. Connor Wazorek can't field it. We'll call that an error on number 9.
From the dugout.
From the dugout. I have to say that because, who is it? Connor Wazorek, Anthony Felke, and Tyler Holland. I was watching the game on Tuesday here at Lancer Field against, I believe that was North Judson, after the conclusion of the Lancer softball team's senior night. There was a foul ball that went straight up and straight back. I tried to field it behind the backstop. Was not able to, so they gave me grief, and I can toss it right back. Quick grounder to the pitcher, and it's a 1-3 putout to end the game. Your final score and your final box score, as we have a quick consultation. We'll call that a bad hop, and we're just getting a couple of things sorted out with errors and hits. So let's see where our final stats are. For the Lancers, they went on 16 runs, scored off of 16 hits, no errors, 8 left on. Oregon-Davis will finish up 4 runs off of 3 hits, no errors, and 6 left on. The walks really aided the Bobcats in the last frame here, but the Lancers were able to pick up the win in their home finale.
That's something you really almost concede or anticipate anyway. You anticipate giving up a couple runs. You're not disappointed. When you start bringing out your top of the order pitchers, bringing in some freshmen, getting them experience, it's not that you're really wishing it on them, but this is a perfect opportunity. Give up a run, give up 3. We're up by 14. There's no better time to get them out there, real game experience.
Oregon-Davis falls to 3-16-1 on the season. They travel next to Culver Academy on the 20th to face the Eagles, and then we'll travel to Caston, we'll host Caston on the 22nd at Oregon-Davis to conclude their regular season. We will see Oregon-Davis later in the sectional next week. That'll be a week from today, I believe. I'll have to double check that schedule for the sectionals. The Lancers, on the other hand, will travel to Bremen, I believe, on Saturday to finish up their schedule for this 2017 campaign. Bremen followed by South Bend Career Academy on the 25th. That is a week from today. South Bend Career Academy traveling to Newton Park to face the Lancers in the opening round of the 2017 IHSAA sectional, the 51st annual playoffs for high school baseball here in Indiana. We're going to take a moment, step aside, pay a few more bills, then finish up here from Lancer Field. Your final score, 16-4 in favor of the Lancers. You're listening to LVH1, the voice of Lancer Nation.
First Source Bank is a proud sponsor of Laville Athletics. Whatever your future holds after high school, make sure you also think about your financial future. Opening an e-student checking account with First Source Bank is a great way to keep you connected to your personal finances as you start on your road to success. Bank the way you want, when you want, 24/7. Apply online at firstsource.com today, or come see us at locations in La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Walkerton, or South Bend.
First Source Bank. Member FDIC.
At TNA Rigging Incorporated, the staff works hard to ensure that your project is completed safely, on time, and with the least amount of interruption to your production. They aren't interested in only completing one project. Their goal is to build long-lasting relationships with customers. From machinery movement and repair, installation, transportation services, TNA Rigging has been serving Indiana and Michigan for over 10 years. For all your machinery and installation needs, call the crew at TNA Rigging Incorporated at 574-233-3074. TNA Rigging Incorporated, your satisfaction is our success.
LVH1 is brought to you by the Union North United School Corporation, First Source Bank of La Paz, Indiana, and TNA Rigging of Plymouth and South Bend. Alongside Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you're with us. Final score once again from the baseball field here at Laville Junior Senior High School, 16-4 in favor of the Lancers. Lancers will be in action once again on Thursday, a week from tonight, for the opening round of the IHSA sectional. They will finish up the regular season on Saturday at Bremen. And then on the 25th, they will host the South Bend Career Academy just north of here in Lakeville at Newton Park. That'll be the third game played in the 51st sectional of the 51st annual IHSAA baseball tournament. South Central and Culver Community will open up the action from Newton Park at 5:30 on Wednesday. That's the week of finals here at Laville Junior Senior High School. Then La Crosse and Argus will face each other in the second game. That'll be 5:30 immediately before the South Bend Laville game on Thursday the 25th. LVH1 will be recording all the games at Newton Park that week, Thursday, Saturday, and the championship on Memorial Day, Monday the 29th. We will broadcast the Laville games live as long as Laville is in the tournament. We will do all the games that Laville is not participating in, we will record those and upload those. So if you are a fan of lacrosse, Argus, South Bend Career Academy, South Central, Culver Community, or Oregon-Davis, the teams in the 51st sectional hosted by Laville Newton Park, we hope you will tune in to LVH1 Live on YouTube at youtube.com/c/LVH1 Broadcasting, which is where you're at now. We also hope you will follow us on Twitter at LVH1 Live. Once again, your final score here at Laville, the Bobcats fall to the Lancers in a final score of 16-4 in 5 innings. For Wayne Thomas and Dennis Feitz, I'm Matt Florian. Very happy you've been with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe us on YouTube. We also hope you will subscribe to us by following us on Twitter at LVH1 Live. Until next Thursday from Newton Park, I'm Matt Florian saying thank you so much for tuning in, and go Lancers!